We are live.
We are live
In the building.
Who is this? Who is it?
Who is it?
What is this?
This is you.
We.
Welcome to BYND Sunday, people.
Thank you.
To be You were trying to give me the hint to say
Yes, because I was ready to push my button.
Yeah, I appreciate you tried to do the oop for
I
me,
did.
but I missed it. Listen, we want to give y'all a major shout out, man. Welcome in. First of all, over 20K the last episode with Ed Long Jr.
Yes.
We so appreciate that.
Look at God.
I think that was absolutely amazing. And now we are back. I need y'all to subscribe. Send this out to so many people. We getting over 1,000 subscribers this episode. How we got 21K views and over 50 hours of watch time and not over 1,000 subscribers?
Watching me.
Come on, man. You didn't believe in us, but God did.
That means y'all are cousins, but y'all ain't trying to like admit it. Like y'all are
Right.
distant cousins.
Right.
Come to the family. Like stop just watching
To the
us
cookout.
from the side. Okay, today we talking about sex, baby. Let's talk about
You and me.
Okay, Shaq, you had a conversation with Denzel,
I did, indeed.
and y'all were talking about what?
We was talking about sex, babe. No.
And y'all told me it was like the idea of like Christians and how it can, when you were having a bunch of sex in the world, how it can change how you view women, even when you're trying to date them seriously now. Talk about that, man.
So in the world, just like I was a sinner, period. And sinners don't struggle with sin. They just sin.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't struggling with sin. I was just doing it. And now that I am in the kingdom, blessed by the best, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. I am now convicted from even sexual thoughts. But in saying that, it's just I don't want to break God's heart. Not only me not breaking God's heart, but it's the only sin that we can commit against ourselves.
Yeah.
So I still struggle though. Don't let them.
This is I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like this is one episode I think you need to send to all. Anybody can watch this. You don't have to be young to watch this, but I do think if you know some young adults, some teenagers, and if you are older and this is something that's real for you, if you just were involved highly with sex and sex was like an idol for you, like when you were either, you can even be a Christian, and that's like something that we lead on.
Yeah.
Something we talked about a lot is the idea of it's one of those sins. It's like the most private sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's not obvious that it's on you.
Yeah.
So you could be in that sin, masturbation, sexual, whatever, and then go and be fine the next day and walk in church.
Yeah.
So I mean, how is sex law and Shaq? We just go jump right into it.
Sure.
How has it affected you now that you are a Christian with your daily walk, with how you see men, with how you see yourself, whatever, however transparent you want to be out there, and y'all get in this conversation. La, you go ahead.
No, yeah, I think for me, you said now that you're a Christian, and I think there's plenty of people out who's watching that identify as believers, but it's the commitment of walking with Christ. And like Shaq said, being determined not to break his heart, right? And that's the part for me that has me really trying to stay focused on just living the lifestyle that he means for me to live. You know what I mean? I think for now, it's just the struggle of my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like I could literally be anywhere and my brain would just drizzle off and I'd be like, now how did I end up thinking about that moment right there? So there's a lot of it's a lot that kind of just goes into with just trying to really walk upright, and the conviction is so real. My last relationship that I was in, I just felt very convicted because I knew that my lifestyle wasn't, it wasn't right. And ultimately it kind of led to the end of that relationship. And so for me, I just feel more comfortable, though temptation knocks, you know what I mean? I feel more comfortable just knowing that I'm not breaking God's heart and I'm not putting myself in a situation where I know I'll be compromised and my heart will be compromised.
Can I push you on that?
Okay.
Your history of sex.
Mm-hmm.
And how it affected your life. And I say this because we've had conversations and it's only as far as you want to go. And Shaq, then you jump right in.
Okay.
Because of the history of it. Because you said something when we were, let's say, our practice.
Yeah.
Your history of it. and how now this journey that you've been on in the last couple of months, just what sex was for you before you made this transition. And because I just think it's a testimony and somebody probably can relate to it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Sure. So college-ish. Well, I mean, first of all, I'll say sex for me and my relationship with sex, right? Because we're in a relationship with sex, you know, when you have that kind of back and forth. Started very young, about 11 or so, probably younger than that. And it was more so masturbation for me. So whether it was pillows, stuffed animals, whatever I can kind of get my hands on at the time, you know, I honestly believe that some of relationships like that kind of are hereditary. I will say that I don't feel like I was like pre-exposed. Nobody touched me wrong. You know, I wasn't. Yeah. But anyway, it kind of started out in that way. And then later on, it just became kind of me just trying to find that comfort or fill that void, whether it was with men or women. And so it just kind of continued from there. So it's a very long relationship, me and sex. And so now at the top of the year, you know, I decided to just commit myself to staying away from myself, honestly, and just trying to do what I got to do.
And how long has it been? That
Give it February-ish for me.
And not just
praise the Lord.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about anybody else in my space, but just even with myself. So yeah, and it's October, so I'm proud of that.
Same question to you, Shaq.
What?
And it's a combo. I mean,
yeah,
the history of it. How has it affected you now in your walk? And then we're going somewhere with it because I know the journey we're trying to take our viewers on, but
so
just the history of it.
Just my history with sex, it also started young, probably like 15, and me just being in the world and being this person that was looked at as somebody that was of like a certain stature or like a certain degree of man or person. It was easy for me to talk to these women and it was easy for me to have sex. And like I said, being brought up, I didn't get brought up by some of the best men. And I didn't understand that having it to me in my head, it was more women, the more masculine you are.
You feel so me? Your manhood was kind of tied into it.
My manhood was tied into how many women you have. It's like a masculine thing to do.
Yeah,
which I disagree with completely now, but before it was that's what it was. And just being able to do that and going on, I've been on tours and stuff, and it's just it was very available to me, and I took the availability.
Since you've been saved, and then we just go open it up for convo with it. But one of the things we want to talk about is since you've been saved now, y'all, right?
Yeah.
Like, does it affect how you view women? How you view men, because that was the whole convo with Denzel that y'all were talking about, is the idea of like, now I'm looking at a woman probably not even maybe the right way I should be, or you know what I mean? Zell, you may have to jump in on it too. Y'all know Zell.
I told him to put a lapel on. He act like he can't get in the episode.
Zell got to say what's up.
He started the whole conversation.
Say what's up. There he is. Boom. Don't lick the lips. Trying to find a white Lord.
I am Jeff.
He got one of these, money. He said,
LL Cool Zell.
LL Cool Zell. Zell, are you single? Somebody wrote in the comment.
Period.
Somebody wrote in the comment.
But Shaq and Orla, and then I'm gonna jump in with y'all with it.
I'm gonna just hop on it.
Hop on it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's just the wrong combo to say it. But let's ignore it. Let's do it. Look, sit on it.
For a fact,
y'all see what I deal with? Do y'all see what I deal with?
For a fact, I look at women differently because before I looked at women. See, now that I'm trying my best not to have sex, I look at women in a different way because now it's like my brain is in a different area. I can look at you for who you are now. I can look at you for who you really are and what you really have.
So before it was blocked by just
it was blocked
what you
by
can
booty.
give me.
It was blocked by lips, by a smile. I love some good nails done. It was blocked by these things, these idols that I placed that led me to sex.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like, aren't we supposed to, at least what we were taught, right? Like that physical attraction should still be the first thing.
No, physical attraction is real.
It's different than sexualizing you, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So physical attraction is not the same as like I'm sexualizing you the moment I see you. Like I'm imagining what you can do for me in the bed.
So when I look at this woman, I'm looking at this woman. I said, "Oh my God, she is beautiful."
Okay.
Or I can look at this woman like, "Oh my God, that is looking. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want that. I want to do that."
But shouldn't we still do that?
No.
Like in other words, shouldn't I look at you the first time if you're supposed to be my wife? This is again physical attraction. Let's just be real as we need to bring Pops in on this. But if I see you first, the first thing I should still see is
I'm sorry, you do got to be fine though.
Like man,
but I don't want to be sitting there wondering like, man, I wonder.
It's beautiful.
I agree, but it should be like I can see myself being with that.
I can see myself being with that.
Not like, oh, I'm about to get her, right? Yeah, for sure.
It's so fat.
But you should almost have to fight that thought to me if she's the one that's supposed to be with you. You should have to fight hard to not get to that sexualized point.
So let's just break it down to what you just said.
Let's do it.
Fighting that thought.
Yeah.
So fighting the thought is the action that I'm speaking of. So you can see her and be like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. But this one minister at my church, his name R.A. Vernon II. He told me something about guarding what you see and what you intake. So soon as you get you wondering, protect yourself. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Because then it can go somewhere else.
It be me.
I can't just keep looking. I can't stare.
Because La, you said you have to.
It be me.
You have to fight in Bible study.
It be me.
You're on a Wednesday night prayer.
Sometimes I even like you're saying like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, and sometimes you have to like keep yourself from being like, oh, like I just sometimes have them thoughts like, oh, I wonder, can he?
Yeah.
Can I?
And is that from again? So let's tie it all together. Okay. That is from the impact, because sin has consequences, right?
Yes.
So that is from the impact of the past life that you lived, right? Trying to sneak back in, you was that?
For sure.
But now the difference is what you do on those urges, right?
Boogie,
yeah.
Blocking boogie.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom,
boogie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like, oh,
it takes discipline. Boogie. It takes discipline. Like you just be like, no, don't do that. Yeah. don't do that.
Like you said with David, with King David, when he saw what's her name? Bathsheba.
Yeah.
When he saw her in that. When you saw her taking a shower, you feel me? He's sitting there, he's dwelling in that moment.
Yeah,
he's sitting in that moment. It's not him just like, oh, look at her taking that shower.
Yeah,
he's sitting in it, right? So if I see a girl, she's attracted to me, I'm not trying to look her up and down 10 million times, because then that's when the thoughts is coming to me.
Ooh. So let me ask y'all this then. You wanted to say something on that?
I was just gonna say, but because of the consequences of previous actions, it's like the thoughts are already there. Like I don't have to be doing. I like you said, I literally could be in Bible study, and like one word can make me think of one moment that can make me think of like. So it's just really the control of your thoughts, and I think that's the struggle for me, like where I am right now. Just it's just having that discipline, or just like really trying to get my brain to like not think about those things. But again, I know that the sin really isn't in the attraction. It's more so in the action that you do. So I could see somebody or have that thought, and it's up to me to be like, let me just move that thought to the back of my head versus let me go ahead and text him after service to see if want.
Ray, I also think that it's very important to talk about how it can be something that has to do with emotional and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because that can be in me emotionally.
Oh my gosh, Shaq. So we were talking about this, bro.
Yeah.
And we were saying how a lot of people and a lot of Christians, I think too, we do this. Sex is such a tool we use to deal with our low self-esteem, with our depression, with our insecurities. It's such a vice that all people lean on. all people lean on.
Yeah.
But even as Christians, like you said, I don't think like maybe we do a good enough job with talking about how oftentimes it's because of maybe what you've been through or what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
That is like, this is why I use this as my
Because
vice.
as Christians, it's like, oh yeah, well, I don't smoke weed, but we gonna do that.
Yeah.
Or I don't pop a perk, but we gonna do that though.
Yeah.
Like they just feel like, because it's like you said in the intro, because it is not, you cannot visibly know that I'm doing this dirt. It's easy. If I'm off this perk or I'm smoking this weed or I'm drinking this liquor,
see it in there.
Yeah. It's something, this person is disoriented. You feel me? Obviously. But with me having sex, if you don't open that door and I'm mid,
you'll never know.
But
you would never know.
But can I say something? The person you dating, the person you married, they will know. And this is like kind of what we was talking about.
Yeah.
It's good.
So it's like, I may not see it on you. Here's where I start to see is when now we're dating and now you say you want to be in this serious relationship. But the first week, you're in here comparing me to all of these different people.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Or you're saying like, hey, so let me ask you a question. And it starts to bleed off because it's like, hey, are you open to even so I may not have saw when I was on the date initially in your face, but especially if you are led by the Spirit, you could tell when somebody is like, oh, you still outside. you still
in the
dealing.
trenches.
And here's the thing that we were talking about, and this is why we got to talk about the idea of keeping yourself, because it ain't like we ain't trying to do the don't have sex until you're married. But here's the real reason, Zell.
Why?
Can we talk about it? Because when you get married, no matter what she does, she'll never be enough.
Bang, bang, bang.
If you don't click, because anybody, like, here's the thing. It's not a lot of Virgin Marys out there. Now, there is somebody, and you can do this. I'm going to tell you why it can be the most beautiful thing, and I'm going to talk about my wife in a minute why this, right? Yeah. But here's what we got to talk about. The reason why we're having this conversation is you got all of these 40 bodies, 50 bodies, 100 bodies, whatever it is, and if you don't cleanse yourself, if you don't take 40 days, which I did before, to say, listen, 40 days of anything can create a habit. So I'm going to go 40 days cold turkey, get in the word, cleanse myself, Lord, get these bodies out of your mind. Because if not, what happens is you now are in a marriage and you looking at your wife to be superwoman you saw on the gram.
Can you do this?
Freaky Delicious you met in college.
Yeah. You look like that.
Cherry you met on the streets. Sunshine you met in East Cleveland. And you compare her like,
hold on.
Talk about it.
You going straight from the men aspect, go to the women aspect too.
Women too. Yeah, you want him to be Superman?
What Patrick say you that had Daddy Long John over here, and then you got like that's a thing, because if you were a virgin, whatever I got, it's gonna be the best you ever had.
Yeah,
we ain't going to the penis store and picking it.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on.
Run that back.
A man is not going to the penis store and picking his penis.
Okay.
So for a woman to be like, no, like that's not. I need more than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of understand.
I get. He took it. So yeah.
Just being honest.
We can't go to the store. We got what you got.
Because I want to say what.
But here's the thing. And shout out to my wife, Anaja Vernon, who's watching, and I use her as an example. She won't do this for herself, but I can do it. Listen, I ain't been to the store, but I can tell you something. Can I tell you about the store? I'm gonna tell you about the story though, Shaq. I'm the best. I'm the best she ever had.
For sure.
Now, so I was her dream store.
Let's do it.
I was, because
hallelujah.
But I'm gonna tell you this. Now let's talk about the opposite side of it. And let's jump into it. Me didn't do everything right.
Yeah.
Me made some mistakes. It would be so, and I don't think we talk about this enough. Mm-hmm. We got to stop jumping from relationships to relationships. Yeah. And I was just with this girl and it was real, Zell. We wasn't perfect. We're not saying we were perfect. We made some mistakes, but then the next week you jumping straight into another person. Mm-hmm. And not saying that you're having sex with this person, but you're just talking to this individual without washing and cleansing your spirit. Mm-hmm. We do that a lot as Christians.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be like, okay, we did that wrong, but it was that, or we made a mistake.
Yeah.
But Lord, you still got to send me my husband. Okay. Oh, 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now dating him and think that that's not going to carry over.
Yeah.
I think between every time you have sex with a person, it needs to be 6 months to a year before you talk to another person.
Before you talk to another person.
What y'all think?
I can see that. I feel like mentally it's that soul tie. And mentally you're going to automatically have that comparison of even how the conversation and the dialogue was. And it sounded like shit. You okay?
6 months to a what?
It has to.
It's
not overkill.
Take a time.
You said it took 40 days to make a habit. You going 40
Take
years?
some time, though.
Before you start, Elder Coleman, shout out to
Telling
him. He's not watching right now. I'm going to send it to him. I was getting ready to talk to Naj again, seriously, different things like that. And he's like a father figure in their life, all of that. I was getting ready to jump right back to her, be like, Naj, let's whatever. And I had a previous relationship. Said, man, you're not talking to my daughter and to at least 6 months. The reason being is, how can you, first of all, take a season to process what you just went through?
Right.
Then go through the process of cleansing yourself. Then go to the process of preparing yourself for what's next. There is no sin, the Bible says, that affects the body more than sexual sin.
40 days.
No.
2 weeks.
No. You got to take a little time.
40 days.
I agree.
2 weeks.
I agree. That's not enough time.
I don't have relationship. I haven't been in enough. Y'all got it.
But let me ask y'all this then with it.
I only had to cleanse one relationship.
Let's say, so you cleansed the one.
Wait,
talk about that.
Yeah, I want to know more.
I want to know about this. Because you went from a worldly, can I, and then you take it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You went from the worldly, you were engaged, but it was a worldly relationship. This was right before you said, I'm all in with Jesus.
And was.
And you took a little time before now, whatever. You're ready to date. He's open. Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
Shaq, look at that camera. Do it. No, don't get in trouble. Listen.
No, don't get in trouble.
But let me ask you,
I'm chilling.
How was the perspective now from dating that world to now in the Christian world in the time in between?
It was just very easy because I'm not gonna lie, like being in the world, and I'm DJ Bake Shack, I'm in the clubs. So my perception of a woman just switched dramatically once I read in the Bible what a woman was. And I feel like but we talked about identity last YF Shameless Plug. Last YF, we talked about identity, and before I didn't know what a woman was really. I read the Bible and I watched some of these people, some of my elders, and I'm like, that's a woman. Yeah. So it made it hard to be attracted to somebody outside of the kingdom. I can't even be attracted to you for real.
Yeah. That's a whole nother subject.
Like,
so you said you can't even date nobody outside.
I would not be in a relationship with nobody outside the kingdom. Never. Because you not only, so the Bible says that God is love. And if you don't know God, then you don't know love.
Yeah. And plus, we talking about sex. They definitely not gonna be on the same game plan that you probably of trying to keep yourself in the reasons why.
And they're not gonna try to be celibate with you. They're not gonna try to,
and they're not gonna probably respect what you got going on either. They're gonna think it's a game. They're gonna try to push up on you.
I'm still struggling.
Right.
I cannot have nobody playing with me.
Yeah.
Playing with my top like that because
playing with your, is that a literal play?
Oh yeah,
you are on.
No, you crazy.
You are crazy. This dude is saying crazy stuff.
Wild. That's
take
wild.
me to the store.
No,
playing with his what?
I didn't say take me to the
store. Let's pass it to you. Let me ask you this, La.
Oh yeah.
As a woman, can you talk about the idea, man? One of the things Christians I feel like we do, we play around with it. We just go chill out tonight. And the idea of, I think, like the idea of open it, like somebody would have, all right, somebody watching that's been around the block and back.
They did what?
They've been around the block and back. I think that's enough to say. I'm not you, Shaq. I'm not going to the store. No. So let me ask you this, La. Is it important, like if you have experience with sex, to be on another level of mindfulness and like guarding those gates of saying, we got to set limits from the top. I like you for real. Should the next conversation be, now let's set our limits? Because if I get with you late night, I want some, you want some. That's what Zell just said.
It might.
What you think, La?
Hey, no, I do agree with that. And I also think it's important just to be self-aware, to know. Well, first off, yeah, being self-aware, knowing your triggers, knowing your limits, right? Like I know I probably can't do that shot with you. I can't, that drink with you, that one, little limited because we believers, I get it. But, even just a little of that can get me feeling my way. And I don't really want to do too much, you know what I mean? But I think it's definitely important to set those boundaries because you don't have strength within yourself. And it ain't going to be only so much calling on Jesus you can do before you be calling on Jesus.
Yeah. Don't be on.
So don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Don't be like me. Don't be getting in the car late night. No car.
I like car conversations though.
Shaq, you said you had a girl that pulled up to the house since you've been saved.
I like car conversations.
Let's talk about it. I'm putting it out there.
He is. He's trolling actually.
Somebody that was in the lot tried to be with you from your past, and you had to shut it down. She was in the parking lot.
In this parking lot?
No, not this one. But this is a real conversation. Men deal with this stuff. That's been said. Like the idea, what do you do in those moments when somebody's outside or somebody's texting you crazy? Let's go. Let's get. Do you lean on your support then? Do you call somebody?
Wait, okay. So was they trying to do it in the car? Like, how does the car come into the car?
I got it to where. So after this altercation happened, I called Dizelle first of all.
Wow.
I called Dizelle about to cry. Please pray for me. It was like, what was it, 3 a.m? Like 3 a.m, I said, Dizelle, please pray for me. Help me.
Oh, wow.
Please.
That's beautiful.
He said a prayer for me. And I got a prayer from my brother Caleb, my roommate. I could send it to you, but it's a prayer about washing those old bodies away and washing those old thoughts away about sex. But most of all, you just got to know your boundaries. Yeah. Twan taught me this, Twan Steele. You just got to know your boundaries and set them and be firm on them, because if being on Instagram at 11 o'clock in the morning is going to cause you to masturbate, get off.
That part.
I got a timer on my Instagram. I can't be on Instagram a certain amount of time a day.
It's better to be wise than strong.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's better to be wise than strong.
Yeah.
I think that's just like, we are not, you got to know that no matter how much you think, like you said, if you're really trying to do this thing the right way, and let's talk about why we try to do it the right way. I don't think it's nothing like, Elder Coleman is the only person I know that they did it, I think, one of the best ways. Him and his wife, when they first got married, we got an elder at our church.
They didn't even kiss.
Can you imagine you dating this person and you have not even kissed them? You've been dating a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever it is. You get to the altar, which is their story. And the first time y'all kiss is at the altar. So now everything y'all doing is the first time on honeymoon.
Wow.
Every night is an adventure. Now I can talk from my side of the story. Me and Naj did not have sex when we were dating. Now, Lord pray for us. We had some holy, you know what Christians do. Christians are trying to do everything but that. But one thing we did not was have go all the way. So with my wife being a virgin when we got married, one of the beautiful things about it is, number one, I get to teach her all of these great things. But let's just talk about us not having sex until we was married.
That's beautiful.
We cover y'all ears, still trying new stuff.
Oh my Jesus.
As you should.
But I'm gonna tell you this. But here's the spiritual level.
Long life.
When you don't experience that, it becomes so much of a part of like your worship and a part of like the intimacy, because I wasn't able intimacy, right? I wasn't able to be that and to see that until you were my bride. Yeah. So now how I look at that is a part of the connection that we made in this promise that we made to each other at the altar.
That's good.
So it's not something like we were doing this. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, this is going to be another day when I look you in the face on this altar. No, it was like when we did this. Now this is a part of, because of
a new door.
the
whole new rising.
Condemnation. Yeah. Wow. Now this is a part of what we get to do because of what happened at this altar.
Yeah.
So I just think it's so holy. And the idea, even if you did not do it absolutely right with the person that you with, I think you can get cleansed and have a new beginning at that altar as well.
I love that.
I don't think it's nothing like it though. Nothing like it. We got a question. What What's the question?
Because people worry that if they wait until marriage, sex might not be good.
Ooh.
Don't test it out before.
People worry that if you don't have sex before, that it won't be good.
Well, you just spoke about that.
We did.
True or false?
Naj, are you watching? I can tell you this thing. I didn't test that rod out, and it's the best rod I ever had.
Well, praise the
my
Lord.
Jesus.
And I'm riding every day. Oh, I want today.
Oh
Hey, I had to
my
drop the seat for that
God!
one.
Oh my God!
I can tell you, you got to put some faith on that thing.
Put some faith on that thing.
Oh
And then
my
I
God.
also feel like that's a good opportunity to like teach. Like,
Yes.
tell me, like, show me, you know, what do you like? I think that's so exciting.
Now, Shaq, you said you be asking some questions that I told you I think is wrong.
You shouldn't ask him.
Evil.
But I asked him. I'm not perfect. God help me. But yeah. So those questions shall not be asked. Do not do.
What's the question?
Wait, I'm saying, but like, what are the
What was you
questions right
asking?
now? You're still growing from this, but the questions you be asking.
So some of those questions, like you might ask her, like, how you like this? Or like if you do that, or
Why y'all dating? Why y'all dating?
yeah, if while dating.
And what's the reason for
What
that?
was the reason?
So the reason for those questions is just to like try to get some insight on
As you're saved?
Some insight.
yeah, like I'm saved. I'm just trying to get some insight, but I do not. I've had a conversation, and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with doing that. I don't agree with doing that because that is nothing but tempting yourself, and now you've created a tempted space in
Bruh.
between you guys.
Because I can't imagine asking or having that conversation and not thinking about it later. You're like, ooh, he
Yeah.
said this.
That's the point. That's the part of being.
He said
That's
he
the part
gonna
of
pull
being
my
like
hair.
that Christian and what you
Now I
say?
gotta.
That
What?
Christian and nasty. Christian and nasty is like you thought like I guess you can't have sex, so you like, well, let me ask these questions so maybe I can think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That holy, we do the holy thing. Like, so Christians will find ways, like we know we can't have sex, so we'll just find other things to try to
Stimulate it.
yeah, like so babe, I want to have this conversation with you about your past, which I think you should discuss your past. But as when you're dating somebody, if it's really serious, is one of the things we were taught to.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should be discussing sexual past too detailed, because that's just a trigger that's leading to something
It's
else.
such a
So
trigger.
do you think that? So you don't think that at no point y'all should have a conversation about sexual experience?
Okay, let me be very clear. Yes,
Okay,
I need to know how many people you slept with.
I need to know that for a fact.
That's just me
I
personally.
need that.
I want to know that. I want to know again. Is there somebody that I know? Like Pops always said, if you slept with the whole football team, let me know before we went to the game.
Let me
Like-
know.
Like if you slept with all the Cleveland, like so. Yes. Now here's what you don't want to do. So knowing, hey, I had these experiences. This is how many. Here's who you know that I had these encounters with. I think that's only fair. If you slept with my best friend, I gotta know. Like
Not
yeah,
even
if
the
you
best
slept with
friend. If you slept with the
you slept
mailman, I
with-
gotta know.
But here's what I don't need to know. I don't need to know Shaq, which is what we try to do. So you said this mailman,
The mailman.
the mailman.
I need to know
Anybody.
it all.
But here's what we don't need to know. I don't need to know. Hey, what was your favorite sexual position while we're dating?
Yeah,
I
that's
just
not
feel
valid.
like, okay, here we
That's
go.
not valid.
I
Come on
just
now.
feel
Sexual
like
position is not
That's
valid.
only gonna get you trigger. That's a trigger.
I'm triggering.
But I do
triggering.
feel like there has to be some healthy way, and maybe this is like something that's discussed in premarital or something. Like, I just wouldn't want to get like all the way to the other side and like learn that like you don't.
Like what?
You don't
Like what, Lashana? Yo,
I
what?
can't- I
That's a
don't
part of
know.
premarital. It is.
It is premarital,
Those are things that they
okay.
ask. Like these are things that now.
Well, hold on. What's she? What?
She's like, okay, well, I don't want to speak for you.
Do I speak? Like the things that I like because of my consequences of having these things. I don't want to get to the other side and learn that like you ain't even really trying to even like,
Like,
Whoa! I disagree.
kiss the line.
I disagree.
Oh,
yeah.
You ain't trying to do nothing.
Everybody listen to me.
Why?
There is consequences with sin.
And that's the consequence. Yeah, I guess so. Because now I'm so
I
concerned
guess so.
about that.
If you, this is what we started with,
I
Shaq.
want to know.
If you're used to somebody jumping off the ceiling right onto you, don't put that on me because you experienced that.
That's so true, though.
You gotta now cleanse yourself and say, Lord, I wasn't supposed to see that anyway.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put that pressure on my spouse. Now be as
Wow.
nasty as you want with them, and hopefully the person want to be nasty with you.
Yeah.
But don't be comparing me
Yeah,
or be expecting
that's true.
things from me because you had it
he
in this
put you in
past
a-
life.
And so
wrestling
when you
position.
get into, because he put you in a wrestling position.
Because he used to put you in a chokehold. That's what that mean. You want to be submissive.
And so what about
You want to? No.
He said, "Be some." Never mind.
Never mind. Go ahead, like y'all too silly for me.
I lost it, I think. I'm sorry.
How do you know when you're fully cleansed from past sexual relations?
Well, you don't think about it when you're not comparing.
Yeah, and you're never. Here's the thing: it's an ongoing journey. Like that's the cute
I
answer.
promise.
But it is times, and I am married, that I have to remind myself and fight. Like as La said,
Yeah.
you could be again just walking
Minding your
with your
business.
minding your business. I remember when that, and you have to right in that moment, as hard as it could be to try to linger in that thought.
Lord. Lord.
Lord, you done brought me so
Lord.
far, Jesus. Wash that out of my mind right now. And here's the
Speaking of
thing:
tongues.
sometimes it ain't gonna work like that, but you have to then just remember how far He brought you from,
Yeah.
what He delivered you from, what He cleansed you from.
Yeah.
And why would I want to go back to the vomit? The Scripture says, right?
Wow.
Like
a nasty dog.
like a nasty. I'm
Like a
cleansed
nasty
now.
dog.
So that's an ongoing journey. Again, a consequence of
The
sin.
consequences.
You got to
yeah.
live with some of the stuff,
That's so
and you
true.
got to tell yourself, I can't have it no more.
Yeah. And
Like
for
that.
my people out there, I just feel like I have to say this as well. Like porn and masturbation, that do the same damage, y'all. I'm telling you, like what you expose your eye gates to as well.
Talk about
It does the exact same like damage. So you could be trying to have a committed relationship with somebody, and then all of a sudden you are comparing what you saw, and that there's marriages that are experiencing those same consequences of trying to compare what they see on TV or what they're seeing in these pornographies and things like that. It's just as damaging. It's just as damaging.
I think that's real, La. Because here's the thing: not only are you comparing me to the 40 people you were with, now you compare me to the 100 people you saw
You
online.
compare me to an actress.
You compare. Say it again.
That's fire.
Say it again,
You
La.
compare me to an actress.
Boy.
Like it's fake.
Or an actor.
Or an actor.
Or an actor or an actress,
Or both.
or both.
Yeah. And this is why, again, this idea, it's all about like where we trying to get to, not perfection, but joyful life where I'm not able to be satisfied with nobody. Who want to live a life like that, right?
Because nobody's gonna be able to feel that.
Where I meet my queen, the person I was designed to be with,
Wow.
and I'm never fulfilled by her.
Because you distracted.
And
from
always
delicious.
remember, if we falling, get back up. Don't sit there and dwell in it. Don't shame yourself.
That's the thing, Shaq.
Get back up.
Shaq, talk about that.
I'm telling you, like, if you, that's what keeps us. That's what separates saints from sinners. Saints are sinners that what they do, Ray?
We feel bad.
Get back up.
We
get
get
back
back
up.
up.
But and here's the thing, like you said, sinners just said. We said, and what? We feel like I'm not supposed to sit in this sin.
You feel this icky. I
We
feel icky.
Yeah.
So that icky, but what we get confused with, Shaq, as you talked about, is the icky feeling is God. Like, so it's two things: condemnation, right? So this idea of like God is not condemning you.
Right.
That's the devil.
Yeah.
God is trying to convince you
Yeah.
who you are.
And that's
Because
the conviction. Yeah.
That's because the devil persuade you to do something bad, and then when you do it, tell you like, I knew you was gonna do that.
Yeah.
You just like da da da.
Yep.
But God will tell you better than doing that, and then you do it, and He's still there. Like, come on, get back up. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm
It's
still here.
okay.
You got this.
Boom, boom. So that's why you always supposed to choose God's side, because God is with you no matter what.
Yeah.
The devil is gonna give you that feeling and then beat you up with his words.
And I like that you said something key about your experience at 3:00 in the morning. You called Denzel, you talked to Caleb, like having that accountability of people that you trust to hold you up and kind of be there for you, so they can be your ear, right, to guide you, so that you're not just sitting there wallowing in your condemning of yourself. Yeah, it's important.
I think that we don't talk about that enough, about being a Christian.
Because people don't want people in their business. They say, I don't want,
Hey,
I ain't trying to say nothing. I don't
my
want nobody.
testimony is my testimony. Listen, I'm not, my testimony is my testimony. I still struggle. I love God.
Yeah.
I love the Lord. And I still struggle.
Yeah. I struggle too,
still
Shaq. I miss sex.
And here, like I love the Lord, but I have people like Ray I can call. I have people like Denzel I can call. I have people like Caleb I can call. The community is important. Surrounding yourself around like-minded people is important. And I'm not going to say that your life going to be perfect, but you will definitely see progression.
For sure.
And I'm going to tell you something. I'm married and she got everything I need. And it's still a journey.
Yeah.
Like the journey, which is why I got to have the people around me.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things we don't talk about enough, which is why we had this conversation, is sexual perversion. And sex in general is one of the biggest addictions our generation is dealing with.
Yes, sir.
And Christians is dealing with. And it's, what is it? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll is still real. Some people it is weed. Some people it is alcohol. Some people it is cussing. But a lot of people, right? One of the major tools the devil is using now, it could be used for his glory. Thank God for social media and all of the ways that we have access to put our stuff out here. But let's not ignore.
Yeah.
That this battle is more real than it's ever been.
I'm telling you.
Man.
And
that is what ever been.
Push it.
As Pops always say again, you can see what a man back in the day had to fight to see over 100 years. You can see in 5 minutes,
5 seconds,
times 10. So this is a conversation that we have to have, and what we want to encourage you and let you know of is this: simply put, that you are not fighting this alone.
Not fighting alone.
But do not ignore this fight. I think we ignore this fight enough, too much, where we just say it's just a part of everybody kind of got this thing.
Yeah.
Everybody. And what I'm telling you is it is possible to keep yourself, to cleanse yourself, number one, no matter what you've been through, to then get to the point where I'm going to keep myself, no matter how far you think you in it, to get this accountability in your life, to be so filled up with the Spirit, to not be perfect, but cleanse enough where it gets so much easier, where in a year from now, you could be like, oh, that's still real. I got to guard my gates, but this struggle ain't even.
It ain't like that.
It ain't like that no more. Get to the altar, marry the person that you love, be with your queen, be with your king, and live a life where you are now purified enough to give them your all.
I love that.
Not 80% of you.
Yeah.
Not 90%. But on the day that you stand in front of the altar, you can give them your all and keep it that way by continuously guarding them gates, though. It don't never stop. Ever.
Oh, my God. Ray, put up the text to give.
Text to give.
Listen,
with it.
I'm about to give to this. I'm about to give.
Yeah.
This is blessing me right now.
If
that's
y'all
crazy.
If and that's what we believe, anything again that feeds you, man. And this what we know this was different today. We want to have this. This was actually live. Live, was this your
Give
idea?
it up for live, man.
La,
Give
can
it
we
up
put
for
the
live.
camera on, La Shanae? Huh? And they all late to what they got to do tonight. So we love our team. I'm serious, man. And Shaq just spoke about it. We ain't gonna press the issue. If you believe in that this helped you tonight, if this was a blessing, you see it right there. Help us, keep us encouraged, and let us know we're doing something that's good. I think these conversations got to keep happening, man.
Yeah.
It ministered to me. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving.
Well, let's bring somebody on next week to have this convo with us.
Oh, part two?
Part two. Let's bring
let's
somebody.
Talk about
let's bring somebody with a little bit experience in
for sure
to talk about sex, baby. Because there was a lot of stuff that y'all may need the Holy. I don't know if y'all saved after. I'm looking at you. Put the camera on. What store? You going to the store? They on this.
When I said
you sitting
that,
on that.
It was really me.
When I said that, I'm talking about.
Like
you heard me talk about how Pops was talking about the long john.
Oh. Hey, money, we out of here. Put it up one more time, Monty. Put it up again. If this bless y'all, we love y'all so much. Subscribe. Listen, let's get over 1,000 with this episode.
Yeah.
Liz, is there any closing words you want to say to encourage somebody today?
Use the form in the description. No, for real, to give us y'all questions. We do want to hear from y'all. We want to know your questions. But one thing I actually do want to say, it's been kind of pressing on me. just ask God for his way. It might not be a wedding. It might not be a bride or groom. It might be living in your singleness for a long period of time. Just ask God for his way. I was in a long committed homosexual relationship for a very long time. Thought maybe it just wasn't her, it needed to be her. And then I felt conviction. Thought maybe it wasn't her, it needed to be him. And he turned out to be married. And I kept trying to do it my way until I just gave up and just said, God, like, have your way. And from that, doors open. I'm here. I have a community. I have people who are going through the same thing. So just getting your time, getting your word, and just ask him, what do you want from me? And focus on that. And he'll show you the doors. He'll definitely show it to you. But submit your questions. And we love y'all.
You want to end the episode like that? You
should
have started with that. That's a whole part
God
two.
was poking, so there it is.
No, that's good.
Part 2, y'all.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I'm gonna cry.
In the episode.
We love y'all. We'll see y'all. Share this with some oh Lord, I was about to say share this with some young adults. 3 people that this blessed.
Episode, turn the camera off.
We'll see y'all. Oh my God.
Turn it off.